Welcome again to another episode of Wisdom Nuggets, and I'm glad that I'm able to come your way again as usual. God bless you for watching, wherever you are watching. I know young people all over the world today are very much concerned about the issue of marriage. A lot of you are watching over there, you are considering whether not to marry, or maybe you don't want to even talk about it. Yes, I understand. I used to pastor a church many years ago in America where all the young people there didn't want to talk about marriage because they were scared. Some of them, their parents were not doing well, and some they have seen a lot of broken marriages, and so they say, you know what, I better stay away and just enjoy myself. They were in their 30s that time, and they're highly successful in their careers, medical doctor, pharmacists, and so on, doctors, dentists. They didn't want to talk about marriage. But thank God that they were able to overcome that problem. Let me share with you, because I know that in Africa here, some of us are actually getting to serious controversies about who to marry, what is the essence of marriage, why should I even marry in the first place, and so on and so forth. Your understanding of marriage is very important. Having a proper understanding of what marriage entails is vital to having a successful marriage. In other words, if your understanding is wrong, just like we say in any equation or any argument, if your premise is wrong, your conclusion will be wrong. If you don't have a good premise, a good foundation, you're going to blow it. You're going to mess up. And when you mess up, you think it doesn't work. Hey, brother, it works. Marriage works. I'm married for almost 30 years now, and I know it's not easy, but it works. I didn't marry early. I married at the age of 30, and I know what it means. So it works. And if it can work for me, I believe it can also work for you. Don't follow those who have failed in marriages. Don't make them your role models. Let me quickly mention what I call 7 wrong notions that young people have about marriage, which is affecting their perspective, affecting their disposition, affecting the way they think and act when it comes to marital issues. 7 wrong notions. They are simple things, but they are common among young people, and I say they are wrong. They are wrong. Number 1, people think that marriage is a cultural thing. Let me tell you, marriage is not a cultural thing. I'm going to tell you why. Marriage is more than a cultural thing. Yes, it is done in a cultural context, but it transcends culture. There are principles that guide marriage that has nothing to do with culture. So marriage is not just a cultural thing. I think many of you, of course, you are a product of your culture. I can't blame you. Culture is your way of life, your language, and so on. But you know what? Marriage transcends culture. Get it right. Number 2, it's not just a religious thing. Marriage is not just a religious thing. Oftentimes we think it's the ceremony that matters. The ceremony is called wedding. Wedding is not marriage. What happens after wedding is marriage. Wedding can be glamorous and glorious, and you can have a terrible marriage after a good wedding. I've seen many, wonderful, expensive, glamorous wedding, and the second day, the young man slapped his wife and beat the hell out of her. I'm sorry for laughing, but that's what I see. That's what happens. It just, with all the expensive cars and the great reception and all kinds of photos and, and the honeymoon did not last because of wrong perception, because of wrong notion, because of wrong foundation. It's not just a religious thing, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or African traditional religion, you believe in Buddhism or Shintoism or Confucianism or Baha'ism or whatever religion you hold, is not what is going to hold you or help you to succeed in marriage. As good as religions are, in fact, sometimes religion can make marriage terrible. There are religions that treat women as properties. They are relegated to the kitchen. They are there to be seen and not to be heard. So terrible. That is how terrible religion can be. So marriage is not just a religious thing. That's number 2. Number 3, marriage is not just a social status thing. You know, I'm a celebrity, I'm a footballer, you know, I'm a medical doctor. Oh, you need to marry a medical doctor. Oh, he's your husband, he's a lawyer. Oh, he's a business tycoon, or so on. It's not a social status thing. Look, you should not be driven by that. That should not be your approach to marriage. And I can speak for the next 1 hour on that. But let me move on. Number 4, marriage is not an age thing. You know, that will be shocking to you. Yeah, it's not an age thing. Although marriage is not for babies also. Marriage is not for children. Marriage is not for boys. It's not for girls. It's for men. Come on. Grow up and marry. Don't marry as babes. You cannot be, sleeping in your father's house and say you want to marry and bring your wife to come and sleep there and stay there, and your parents are controlling what you eat, what you wear, and how you dress and all of that. You are still kids. You are not mature to marry. So as much as it's not an age thing, it's not also for kids. I want you to get that. Marriage is not it's not a try and error thing. It's not something you experiment. You do experiment and control experiment in science in those days, and trying to see whether it works, or whether if it doesn't work, you stop it and try another one. It's not, marriage is not like that. You can change your career. You can change your address. You can change your profession. You can change so many things. But listen to me. You may disagree with me, but if you are a child of God, you believe in God ordained marriage, you understand and agree with me that marriage is not for experiment. It's not try and error. It is a permanent relationship. Number 6, marriage is not a class thing. I've mentioned that similar to social status. It's not a class thing. It's not whether you are from this tribe or that class or that. It's not. And finally, marriage is not a selfish and carnal thing that somebody dabbles into in order to satisfy his or her selfish sexual desire. Young men, listen, you'll be fed up with sex. If you go into marriage, if that's the reason, you're going to be fed up. You cannot be doing it every hour, every day. It's not food that can satisfy your tummy. Hey, get it right. You will be fed up. In fact, sometimes if you are a busy man, you have a lot of work, you will not even have the strength for it. Not every time. So it's not because of sex. It is part of it. It's good. God wants us to enjoy sex. I'm not against. Don't misunderstand me. But if your motive is to satisfy your sexual curiosity, that's why you get married. You have missed it. You have missed it. So these 7 things are so important for you to understand. And I want you to understand what marriage is properly. I may not be able to give you all that for now. But let me say that your proper understanding about what marriage is a necessary ingredient for a godly marriage, for a successful marriage. You need to understand what marriage is all about. You need to understand yourself before you go into marriage. You need to understand what God says about marriage. You need to understand your environment. You need to understand the cultural context of who you are married and the people and where you live. You also need to understand your own future aspiration. A lot of things need to be taken into consideration before you go into marriage. In my next episode, I'm going to talk more about this. I'm going to break it down to you. You need to understand what marriage is all about. Get out of wrong nature of marriage. Have the right nature of marriage, and you will enjoy your marriage. God bless you. I bet it you will not regret getting married if you do it the right way. God bless you. See you next time. Enjoy yourself. Have a nice and wonderful time wherever you are. God bless you.